Discretion is advised.
I think we got it. Maybe. Testing. Tech issues. I love it. Happy Thursday. You are listening and are watching Pwnecast. This is episode 237. Holy crap, 237. Why are we still around? We are currently in patch 8.1. Hopefully patch 8.1.5 soon, because I desperately need cool Terran humans. Bad. Like, for Warlocks too, but we'll talk about that another time. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. The world first race excitement and highlights. Many of you already know because you have the pleasure of following me on Twitter, and you've seen this week's, I'm not going to call it coverage because it was basically just like mass tweeting of random things. We're also going to talk about not being an asshole on the internet. Computity. It's going to be that night, guys. Let's just start it off right. Community member responsibility when it comes to behavior, understanding how to be a human on the internet, and what our responsibility is as community members. Understanding expansion and content frustration without feeling an already literal burning tree that is on fire. And guys, I soloed a rogue this week, and I lived. That's the story that I am telling. It's a true story, but I mean, I died right after, but I lived to see him dead. I know that makes any sense. Doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
In 2014, a crack commando unit was banned from trade chat for comments they didn't make. These men and women promptly escaped from the Stormwind stockades to the Ironforge underground. Today, still hunted by the trolls of trade chat, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire the Pwnecast. Leader and brains of the operation, it's Bell.
I want tacos so bad.
Betrayer of the priestly order and huntard extraordinaire, it's Remedies.
Then how did you eat it in the first place?
With the Pwnecast team assembled, let the battle for Azeroth begin.
I could tell in my... I forgot the bumper. But I could tell in my editing of the intro on the fly, last minute, because I was reminded by Rem 2 weeks ago, that I didn't edit the intro in a nice flow fade out. I just it's just a hard stop. It's not very smart of me, but I'm not really known for my brains anyway. Welcome back. If you are new to Pwnecast, my name is Belle, and I apologize in advance for the assault on your ears and possibly visuals if you're watching this on YouTube. I don't even know if people YouTube anymore outside of memes and memes.
Memes make everything better.
I mean, they do. You're 100% right.
Oh,
yeah, you're unmuted. Obviously, I forgot to update this. What happened?
I'm trying to figure out why Zoom doesn't like me.
Well, Zoom doesn't like anybody.
I mean, there's many reasons, but
Zoom doesn't like anybody. My favorite thing to happen right now, before I introduce my co-host, is I have an app on my son's phone or on his tablet that he has to approve anything that gets downloaded. So he has to send me a thing that says, can I download? Well, I know that it's probably my husband helping him. Why are you sending me this in the middle of the show? Hon, if you're watching this, you have the password. Parenting struggles, am I right? Am I right? Okay, so now that I've introduced those who don't know who I am, let me introduce my co-host. He is the lore, curator, master.
Probably curator. I'm more of a jack of all trades, master of none.
Right. Many would call him elegant. I think elegant's probably going to be in the mix of his next two names.
Yeah, no, that's never going to end now.
It's going to forever. It's going to live on the internet, just with all the other things, including 80s hair and, other things that I probably can't mention publicly. But anyway, Rem, welcome to the land of the living.
Hi. Thank you for allowing me to join again.
Thank you for not changing the Zoom password, bitch. I actually don't have to change the Zoom password anymore because it's just a natural progression. When you have friend strips.
I get it because we're going to talk about it.
What?
Progression.
Oh, God, that's just bad. That was bad. Bad.
I'm not proud of myself.
We have on our hands a week that was full of exciting events. Now, again, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I make no apologies for what seems to be an influx of tweeting. My husband's like, you're awfully active on Twitter again.
It's definitely a lot more than normal.
And I did hermit for quite some time, right? I hermited from the social media and just from really social in general, just because sometimes you have to do those kinds of things. But yeah, nothing gets me hyped like seeing a good competition, because this race, well, I don't think people really kind of understood what it meant, that it wasn't just about it wasn't just about, you know, a world first kill and the fact that Method streamed it was about a lot more. And this specific tier, well, last year we seen kind of some contenders there, right? Limit kind of stepped up in a big way, and we started kind of seeing what could be considered a turn of the tides in a sense when it comes to the way that we're kind of viewing the world first race. And, you know, this race, I was afraid to go to bed because they're rating on EU time, and I didn't want to go to sleep because I was afraid something was going to happen while I was passed out, because we didn't know.
That's the major difference between, even though it's not as quote unquote popular than like during previous expansions, we didn't have this much exposure on world first races. It's more of a watching it on Wild Progress, and all of a sudden, oh hey, it's that guild that is in the lead or whatever. So it just gives a lot of exposure. And I mean, the popularity, and just the popularity alone could bring back some raiders, I would safely assume, just because exposure is it's
never good to expose yourself with a trench coat, right? That's how you
get put on the list.
Yeah, we have to be on the offensive here, and we have to make sure that we're properly cultivating our culture here with this gaming stuff, because we don't want to be those guys that's like, hey, by the way, those Pwnecast fucks said that we should just go expose ourselves. I do think you hit the nail on the head. I was a little frustrated on Twitter I think it might have been the last day of the race. And it was actually my morning, but EU's not morning. I was frustrated with Blizzard, and somebody said something to me that it didn't occur to me to think about. So then when I sat and thought about it, I realized that up until the day of the world first kill, or rather after, nobody had tweeted from Blizzard. The race wasn't on the launcher. There was literally, it was like the entire fucking company was asleep. And I noticed that they didn't do it last tier either. I began to get a little frustrated, not because, and it wasn't even on, like, say, Method's behalf. It was just on the race in general. Where's the tweets about how close, 37 or 39 guilds got to being in the actual race? There was, by the time we were done, there was 1 million guilds that were there. Yeah,
so I'm going to play devil's advocate for both sides right now. One, it's not helping Blizzard at all to put exposure on the launcher.
You're right.
Also, they've never, ever since they stopped doing the races at BlizzCon that 1 year, they did it once where it was like Blood Legion and Vodka is pretty much EU versus NA. And after that, doesn't seem like they care. Like someone mentioned on Twitter that there was a water elemental in the fight for Jaina that was broken for 10 days.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't have this I mean, obviously, the world first race is extremely popular. You can tell by you posted on Twitter the stats for the views compared to other channels just this past week, and that's insane, honestly. But
Did you ever think you would see that moment?
not like that kind of gap. I could see them above that during like peak hours, but the huge gap between them and even Riot Games for like the league views and all that it's insane.
Maybe 5 years ago, right? Like this would have been normal numbers 5 years ago. But the
No,
shift.
no, never that kind of gap though.
You don't
Never
think?
that gap. No.
You
5
don't-
years ago, 100%, they'd be either running in league with each other, or they'd be above them easily. But not like this huge of a gap. Like it was huge. It was
Well,
huge.
I was frustrated because, and yes, you might be right. Here's the thing, and I don't know if people know this. People might not know because maybe they don't know the reason. So I think, and maybe it's time that I educate a little bit from the perspective of an insider who isn't really an insider, right? Like I have the jersey that's got the name. I have this. They let me in the door, but I'm not really an insider. I'm just there trying to be the water boy or janitor per se.
Are you Pony Boy? You're just the outsiders?
Yeah, like I'm just there to I'm going to just cheerlead and be the biggest fucking mouth on Twitter because I want people to be hyped and involved, even if it means, you're not a Method fan. Cool. You don't have to be a Method fan. We can all, do the cha-cha and it be okay. Well, the reason that Method streams isn't because they're getting a ton of money from Red Bull, and it isn't because, they want to, somebody said they were the Patriots of gaming. And I was like, what does that even mean? But we'll talk about that in a second.
I could see that argument.
They did it because there was a shift that happened and Blizzard stopped caring about the world first in general. They removed all knowledge or reference to it in game and basically said, we don't want people to do this because they're making it more than it should be. So it's been in large part just the community pushing it forth and trying to make it a thing. Now, last expansion, whoever was doing their social media was still pretty involved. I mean, they were tweeting throughout the race. And I just thought, okay.
Wait, was there even like a congratulations
There
tweet?
was after. Yeah, there was acknowledgement after. So I tweeted to them and I said, hello? Are you guys awake? Where's the tweets
Now,
here?
when it comes to like personal employees, like I saw that Holinka was at the gym and he had it on.
Yes.
Like I could see the employees that are actively watching, but as a corporation,
Right.
they are not showing
what
concern.
ended up the way that it played itself out is like 30-ish minutes later, Caden tweeted, and Caden might have saw my tweet and was like, this bitch is calling us out. Like maybe, whatever. Like I know these devs are watching. I know these guys are watching because I see them on their Twitter making references to it, like you just said, personally. So I tweeted to Caden and was like, thank you for, acknowledging this publicly. Like I appreciate that. And he basically said, like, we're all watching it. That's great that you're all watching it. Where's the proof that you're all watching it? So what I wanted to finish saying here is it wasn't being done. So Method made a decision. They're going to do it themselves. You don't want to promote this. You don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to help make this what it could potentially be. Fuck you. We'll do it ourselves then. So that's what they've done. And my hope, and this ultimately might even be Method's hope, is that this starts a trend. And the trend that this starts is that maybe Next Tier Limit will stream, and maybe Exorcist will stream, and Big Dumb Guild. And I know Exorcist actually might have streamed, and I might have not paid attention. But maybe this will establish a culture of healthy competition where we don't, we're not so afraid.
We're not DDoSing people on our own raid team.
Yeah,
so that we can get on the raid team.
Let's do what we do for PvP. All these guys that go up against each other for PvP in tournaments, in the large part, most of them are friends. There's rivalries that happen, but guys, that's fucking normal. That is normal. Does anybody remember Method in Paragon? Does anybody remember Method in Blood Legion? When you have like-minded people with a killer instinct who have a goal, there's going to be rivalries, and it is so good for the community that is a thing. It is so good that Limit literally had Method on the run. And when I say had Method on the run, I mean these boys can't just sit there and think we got this shit. They have to put in work, and that is so, like, you can't even script this shit. So here's the reality of things.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Right. So we stream this. It's great. The community is getting involved. People that don't even play WoW anymore are getting involved. There's this healthy banter that's going on Twitter, and then I open Twitter, and there's another guild that's in the World First Race that's fucking tweeting side-handed memes at Limit, and there's all this stuff going on that isn't Method and it isn't Limit. It's all these people that are fans or watchers or bored fucking housewives. I don't actually know. They're starting all this drama.
Housewives would watch this.
I mean, I did. I'm a housewife.
You're not a housewife, though.
Well, I guess I'm not, really.
By definition, you're not. You are in a house and you are a wife, but you're not a housewife. It's not endorsing Method. It's endorsing the actual race.
I don't think you were listening to the beginning. So Method is the catalyst here because Method wanted to see the change. It isn't. I didn't want them to endorse Method. In fact, this entire conversation doesn't have anything to do with Method.
Really? Send your chair back and say that.
But, like, this race doesn't have anything to do with Method. Blizzard giving a fuck doesn't have anything to do with Method. I was frustrated that nobody was tweeting about, like, why isn't Blizzard tweeting about how fucking close Limit is? Why isn't Blizzard tweeting about the other guilds where there's literally 37 of them that are 8 of 9 overnight? Like, overnight we wake up and then here comes all the people in the running for the race. This isn't about Method, so please don't make it about Method because it's going to piss me off. I need you to hear what I'm trying to say because it's important. The reality is the reason that this isn't done is not because Method wanted an endorsement from Blizzard. It's because they wanted Blizzard to take the World First Race seriously for all contenders, not just for Method. For all contenders. Here's why. Does anybody know why? Let's see if Rem, maybe do you know why?
Or why they want it to be endorsed by Blizzard? Or
no, well, why they want Blizzard to care. It's not endorsing. I'm not asking Blizzard to...
Well, I mean, that's just... Yeah, but I mean...
Like, tattoo Method on their ass cheek. I mean, maybe they want to. I'm not here to judge.
I don't know from that angle. It's just...
I gotta turn my air on, guys. It's gonna be loud. Sorry.
I feel like part of it would be... Like, for instance, with Mythic Plus, the Mythic Invitational...
Yes, Sulfate. Method are the front runner because they are the... I'm going to call them the catalyst because they're the ones trying to get the change. It's because some time ago, Blizzard has said the community doesn't care about the World First Race. That's exactly what was said. The community doesn't care. They had a board meeting and the board meeting said, we have deemed this non-viable and we aren't going to put any work into it whatsoever. Pretty much the same thing they did with Heroes of the Storm. So, like we talked about when the Heroes of the Storm thing happened, sometimes the community has to thrust themselves in there. And Method did it in a bold way to try to get Blizzard's attention. Not, maybe it was a little look at me, but I don't know if any of you have ever heard anything that, like, Sasha has said in interviews, which Sasha's the co-founder of Method. He's, you know, him and Scott, they're business partners, and he used to be on the raid team. He's been saying this for the last year, that they've been trying to get Blizzard to get involved in this World First thing, not to lift them up and make them great, but to highlight all the guilds that are doing stuff. Because who highlights it? The community does. Or they have to hire somebody that posts on their social media. But there's no support from Blizzard there. They don't even want monetary support. Maybe you could just tweet every, like, once a day or some shit during the world first race. Like, anything?
And I think part of it too is it's not the world first race that people don't care about. It's the lack of caring from Blizzard. Like, for instance, huge guilds that were raiding, Blood Legion, Midwinter, Vodka, they all fell apart because the raiding scene wasn't getting the amount of care that was needed from Blizzard.
That's the answer I was looking for. I knew you were going to find it.
Well, that's what I was saying, and then you cut me off.
Well, because I was trying to finish my damn sentence, but my thought, not sentence. Yes, that is in fact, it's the same thought process with the PvP community. And then
it would be, I guess, a comparison would be like, you have a favorite football team, and the NFL organization is no longer like putting the right amount of effort into X category, and the team is still the same team. They just aren't able to do, I don't know, the same amount. I don't know. I lost my train of thought now. You see what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing in any organization. If they're not putting the effort into it, then the community's not going to put the same effort into it because I don't know. Just
and that's what was happening.
Yeah. I mean, the want and the need is there to watch or to pay attention to it, but Blizzard just doesn't. It's not the community that doesn't care. It's Blizzard doesn't care about the rating.
100%. And so in Legion, we saw some of my favorites. Because just because I'm Method doesn't mean I can't appreciate these other contenders in the ring, because competition is fucking good for the soul. It gets the blood pumping. It gives you a purpose and a reason beyond sponsor chasing and, personal accolades. Like, it gives you something to work against instead of your own personal goals, because sometimes personal goals just aren't enough. Midwinter talked about that. The GM of Midwinter was very honest and said, this just doesn't make any sense. Blizzard doesn't give a shit. They don't care. This doesn't make sense to us. We are killing ourselves in Legion. Not alt friendly. They've basically made it impossible for us to alt for the betterment of the raid. I mean, they've locked us in. Blizzard, they acknowledge that that wasn't the best route. They've addressed it, but he said very honestly, we're fighting somebody who doesn't care. They don't care.
That just makes us feel terrible too, because I mean, why would you do that?
Well, so then you flash back to this last week, where at one point there was 80,000, 90,000 viewers. That isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of the Twitch sphere, right? It isn't millions of viewers, but that was just based off Twitter juice and those that like to they want to be there when the world first kill happens. They want to say, I was here. They want to be a part of that. I watched in chat. Unfortunately, I had the pleasure of lurking in chat because I'm trying to help clean the fucks out of the chat. But
good luck with that.
Right? But I saw people say, I just subbed. I haven't played WoW in X amount of years and I just subbed.
Or no, it builds up hype to actually want to play the game.
It's more than just about getting Blizzard to pay attention to a world first race that the community cares about, because to be real, we don't really need them. We've proven that. We don't really need them.
Oh yeah, no, when you have a sponsorship from Red Bull, that kind of says something.
Don't really need them. Other guilds are stepping onto the scene.
But what I find funny about this whole situation, though, Belle, is they made Mythic a category of difficulty for rating specifically to make it more competitive, while in turn, like, cutting people's heels by not caring. And in the end, like, for instance, that water elemental being broken the whole week. Like, how is that missed when there's this much exposure on something? That's equivalent of having a game-breaking bug in an arena competition.
And they have fixed it midway through a fight.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Where the stream was shut down for like an hour. We were watching some repeat crap, and they were like trying to figure out what the hell was going on, because it affixed, then they reverted, and like all this stuff. Maybe that's why Blizzard doesn't care, because they What is this? So, let's see. Overwatch League during Season 1 averaged between 75 to 125k viewers on the main page, and that is just over 3 days. So, is that 75 to 125k over 3 days? Or is it average like 75k per day? Just so that I have a gauge there. Because I don't really Twitch, right? Twitch isn't my get down. I don't know what... Like, we have 17 viewers, and to me, that is a million. Like...
Oh, hey, by the way, here we go.
Like, we're famous. This is a million. We're famous. There's 17. It's in the millions. Like, we could quit our jobs, Rem. We just quit our jobs because we're famous.
Oh.
So, that's pretty comparable in a sense of that's not too shabby for something that Blizzard didn't promote or care about or
Oh, yeah, I remember that when that whole first week of Overwatch League was out, like it was on the Warcraft launcher, it was on the Heroes of the Storm launcher.
I couldn't get away from it. Remember,
I remember that. Yeah.
I was angry tweeting because it was in.
That was a 3-week binge of just
on a commercial on TV. Now
that makes when WoW was on the commercial on TV.
What I wanted to do is I definitely didn't want to turn this into like a hate Blizzard fest. This did give me they're
just saying what's real.
It did give me some understanding as to why this should be changed. We're never going to change that, right? Blizzard's going to do whatever they want and it's fine. But life finds a way, guys. I don't know if anybody's watched Jurassic Park, and I don't know if anybody is a fan of Jeff Goldblum, but that motherfucker was never more right in his life because life finds a way. And that's basically what's happening here. Life finds a way. I would not be surprised if we see Limit, maybe Big Dumb... Is it Big Dumb Guild? Big Dumb Gaming
Guild?
I only know like two people from there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing other large sponsors offering to host, or if maybe... something larger comes of this from a collaborative effort with all of these guilds. I feel like it's something that we should be having a conversation about. And it isn't just because, you know, I want them to be like, hey, mom and dad, look at Method. I want it to be important because I saw so much life this week in this game, and it was like the PvP tournaments and how hype that is. Like, it was so good for me to see other people's passion and caring and involvement on a global level, and that was good for me. I was really sad that I wasn't in London. I don't think they would have let me in the Red Bull gaming sphere anyway, but I would have probably tried to like break in or something. But so with that,
they let Rich in.
I needed to get that off my chest, and I wanted to know. I wanted to know if we think that this is just something that we're going to have to continue to do as a community to continue to push it, because we talked about the Heroes of the Storm thing, and we talked that week it happened. I had said, if it is big enough and powerful enough, the community will find a way.
Why isn't there one community-driven one now?
There's like 7. There's an invitational that Jinx is sponsoring. There's another invitational that somebody else is sponsoring. And I literally posted on Jinx's tweet.
Yeah,
Jeff Goldblum.
It's not a blow at Blizzard. More the shareholders and the people that are making decisions that people that actually care about the game can't control. But sometimes they really are out of touch on what is important to us or even the game in general.
I agree. Sassy, thank you for the sub. I love you.
Yes. Donka Shane.
So it brings me back to what I said. I think you and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, where I said I'm going to choose to have blind faith when it comes to what seems to be a steady Borg increase. Like Activision was why I'm going to call them the Borg. It seems like they're slowly infiltrating and assimilating.
Yeah.
I hope that isn't a reflection there. I hope that maybe, they just have a lot going on right now with the transition from Mike Morhaime to Jay Allen. Like, I don't know, and I don't want to presume, but I have to say that this was very disheartening for me as somebody who has been literally fighting people on the internet, defending not Blizzard per se, but just perspective is important, right? Perspective. So I think it's just something we'll have to continue to pay attention to. And we're going to talk about something in regards to rivalries and not being an asshole on the internet and those kinds of things a little bit later. But Method did get world first Jaina. Technically, they also got world second Jaina, but they're just trolling at this point. Limit did get the like official world second that is not Method.
I don't remember who it was that said it, but someone on Twitter posted that they should have just run all Demon Hunters because they go good against Dreadlords.
Yeah, they said Demon Hunters, and then somebody said like 8 Paladins. I think Preach was like, just get 8 Paladins and just do it. 8 Paladins.
Wait, why 8? Why not 9?
Watching the stream this week, because last year I wasn't super involved in the stream until like the last 2 bosses because real life, but it was on the TV all day. That's all. My kids just listen to it all day on my TV. I don't presume to know how to be a Mythic Raider, so this is where, you know, casuals kind of collide here, because I know it's exciting, and I'm not looking forward to Jaina personally.
Oh,
as a raider.
I don't ever see it on Mythic, but I
don't want to see it at all. But
fine.
I can tell you that I know that Jaina fight literally from like 7 different possible approaches. So when we get there, guys,
it's different mechanics though.
Gabe's only gonna have to tell me once. Well, I watched their heroic video too. Heroic and normal are basically the same.
Oh.
But I did watch their heroic stuff. So Exorcist, Big Dumb Guild.
Pieces was
Pieces.
They're not a new guild.
No, they're not.
Based on that, yeah. Someone said that they were a new guild on Twitter.
No, I think we talked about it on the show last week, where I said maybe they're like remnants of old guild gods.
Okay. Well, and Limit actually has. I was looking through the actual roster they used on some of the fights. They have quite a few Blood Legion members. I noticed. That was cool.
That is the reason the rivalry fires have been stoked so much, because I don't know if any of you are aware of the, you know, Paragon was the very first, well, there was another guild before then, but Paragon was essentially the first, like, rivalry, I guess. And rivalry, I think, means something different to these guys than it does for us. Like, if you say rivalry, I'm thinking these motherfuckers are fighting in the street. Like, we're getting down, hitting people in the face with trash can lids. But to them, rivalry means that's their fuel. They want to be better than the other, because
their drive to do better. Yeah.
Yeah, you want. Nobody wants to be.
And there's a pretty thin line between a good rivalry and toxic rivalry.
Right.
Like, for instance, when you're blowing up on Twitter about people or bad-mouthing Method, people just slamming someone's name or something other.
Oh,
but
yeah, they were just, it wasn't even
it's
about
like going
having
from
an
like a
opinion.
competitive competition in any sport, like the Patriots. Everyone hates the Patriots. Well, not everyone, but there is a solid hate for the Patriots. It's like the Mayweather and McGregor fight. Like, that was just toxic as hell. But there's rivalry there, but it was toxic.
And whoever paid for that fight, you should get your money back.
Right?
I wouldn't get to pay for it. I told my husband, why do we need to spend our money on that shit? Just find it for free on the internet.
That guy?
Just literally find it for free. But
yeah, but I don't care about the Pats.
I saw people commenting like, Limit's using exploits. Where's your proof? Where's the proof? Because let me tell you something. I'm friends with she's their general manager. She's a nice gal. Limits kind of changed. I don't know if anybody's noticed. There was a big wind change.
Change in scenery, yeah.
Yeah, with them improving and cutting out those that needed to be cut out, and restructuring, and realizing that we need to be better if we're going to be in the public view and we're going to be competitive. Then be competitive appropriately. And I'm about giving people that chance to, you know, show themselves. Anybody that gives the champions a run for their money is somebody that I respect and will root for success. I said it at the beginning of this tier. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if Method didn't get World First and Limit did. And the reason is because you can't make up this shit. This is good TV.
Mm.
You have to take down the reigning champ. You have to. There has to be that story where somebody comes in and is fucking Karate Kid and takes down the champ. Maybe puts Johnny in a body bag.
Johnny.
I don't really know. And it would be, you know, we would all be devastated, and I'm sure the guys would probably take it super rough, even though they say that they wouldn't if they weren't winners, but nobody wants to lose. But imagine the comeback story. Like, you just can't script these kinds of things. Competition is healthy, and it's good. I like it. We need it.
Wait, so was Trill rating in the race? Because I know that Sea-Doo and them have been doing a lot of training for the tourney this week.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was. He
okay.
might have done a couple bosses. I'm actually not sure because they don't stream their stuff, and I'm not going to go to YouTube and watch a video. I can't. I'm not.
I'm curious.
I'll watch PvP videos all day, but I won't watch a rating video unless I'm trying to... Like, I watched the Method once, but that's because I'm giving opinions on how it looks and stuff. So, I don't have the mental bandwidth.
He was there for the Jaina kill.
He was there for the Jaina kill?
Yeah.
Interesting. He's a beast, though.
Yeah, it looks like he was there for every single kill. How does he even... Does he sleep?
I don't know. He is on a whole other fucking level.
Yeah, every boss.
Okay, so we went right into World First talk, and I feel bad because I knew that was going to be a time suck. I probably should have waited. But let's do the weekly reset for what's coming on Tuesday, the 12th. The weekly event is going to be the Pet Battle bonus event. Currently is the Mythic Do Your 4. Go in there, get them done. Do the cha-cha. It's not that difficult, especially if you do them back-to-back. But next week is the Pet Battle bonus event. Love is in the Air begins the 12th. I think, for some reason, I thought it was earlier in the month. Like, I thought I missed it. But the 12th through the 17th is when you can go confess your love. Go give somebody
Singles Awareness Day is next week, so...
Yeah, go confess your love. Go give... you know, go give yourself to someone. Maybe ask permission.
Oh my.
Don't just, like, randomly streak down the road and offer your goodies, but... You know, give somebody some in-game chocolate. They have that nice little picnic basket with the umbrella.
It needs to be consensual, boys, okay?
Take someone on a nice date. Get yourself
Hey, Dark, you want to go get tacos?
Whoa. Get yourself a love rocket. Get yourself the Swift Lovebird. What is it? The Swift
It's the Swift Lovebird. It's one of those flamingo-looking ugly things.
I have one. It's deathly ugly. It just looks like a chicken with the bird flu.
Pretty much.
Like, that's all it is. Also, Raid Finder Wing 2 will be here next Tuesday as well. And Dark Moon Fair ends on Saturdays. So if you're leveling or if you're still trying to do reputation or anything like that, make sure you go in there and do that. And also, I was on Azeroth Roundtable this last week. And there is a popcorn toy that you get from Dark Moon Fair that I'm pretty sure I talked about, but mentally don't remember.
Blocked it out, yeah.
And basically, like, the popcorn, you just break out the thing of popcorn, you just sit there and eat it. I would love to have that during Raid.
They put a meme in the game, that's amazing.
Yeah, I would love to have that during Raid. Like, that would be my favorite. Or...
Gabe is sitting there rambling about something when he's high. Yeah.
Or when they're fighting amongst each other.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine how fun that would be? You think they would
I'd
be
be
mad?
laughing.
You think they'd be mad? I don't think they'd be mad. I don't think...
No, I think it'd lighten the mood.
Gabe would probably find it amusing, I think. Hotfixes too, guys. Obviously, we're probably going to see some various tunings to... the raid, because that's pretty normal. They've actually done some on normal and raid finder difficulties for Stormwall Blockade, which I think that was like another blocker for most guilds too.
Yeah, there was a post about it somewhere where the heroic version of one of those was there's like, oh yeah, it's mathematically impossible for us.
Which I mean,
What was it?
the Mythic race also makes it better for us casual raiders. Or, I mean, I raid every week. I don't know if that's considered casual at this point.
I'd say we're like in between casual and not hardcore, but like mediocre and casual.
If you think about me in terms of what I was last year, even in my raiding, in my dungeoning, in my PvPing, in all elements, guys, I was a lazy slob because I just didn't want to give a shit. I just wanted to have fun. I didn't want to care about any of that. But I think, well, I don't know, Rem might not agree with me, but I mean, I'm kind of a different person now.
In terms of rating, I would say that you it's not that you care more, it's that I don't know, like the verbiage for it. I love that word, handy capable.
I'm able and I'm handy capable. I make sure that I have like I told why we even had this conversation like at the beginning of the expansion. I swap talents on different fights and I do things that raiders are supposed to do instead of just being a lazy twat and showing up for raid and just standing there. And it's been really fun. Not all the time, but it's been really fun. I still don't like doing Mythic Pluses. The reason I don't like doing Mythic Pluses is because it's, and in my experience, every single time it's always been a shit show. This expansion. Last expansion I had a lot of fun doing Mythic Pluses, but this expansion, in my experience, it's always been a shit show. And it just hasn't, I just need the right group. Not even the right group.
What are you trying to say?
I need the right mode. I don't even have a group.
Wow.
I run them with different people. All the like, it's just random. It's on whoever's on. But I feel pretty good about that. I'm pretty happy with that life. They've done, let's see, fixed a Mythic Keystone dungeon issue that caused reaping to not occur as intended. Time in, to not occur at the intended time in Shrine of Storm while teaming was active. Teaming isn't fun for anyone, guys. Just, there wasn't any, like, large ones that are important enough to know.
I like how the hotfix for the Jaina isn't on there.
Yeah, where is that hotfix? They did do Protection Paladin adjustments, and I saw...
Oh, have they nerfed tanks in Arena yet?
I think we talked about it the week before with the warrior stuff that they were doing. I don't want to say that it was a nerf, but they did some things with the trinkets, which I'm pretty sure that these were PvE trinkets. And I thought that PvE gear didn't affect PvP in the sense of they did a squash.
No, I think like every time I went in with one of my trinkets that has like a proc that's PvE, it doesn't work.
Because, like, I thought the PvE gear was, like, scaled down in terms of, like, power, item level, all that stuff.
No, that's why you have people that on the high end are doing Mythic Pluses, because the gear is just downright better.
Yeah. Shouldn't have to be forced to do one set of content for something else. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but...
I mean, back on that raid thing, it's we're polar opposites, because I used to raid, well, forever ago, I raided 3 times a week. Then again, I was in school, like, I was able to do that. So,
and now you're hardly there.
I can do one.
And outside of me not knowing where to go, because David does the pulls for Freehold, he goes into different places that I didn't.
Oh yeah, no, that I was so lost.
I'm not used to that, so I finally had to tell. Like, David got in comms, and I was like, "Can you just explain to me where we're going?" I just muscle memory. Once I know, you won't have to tell me again. Which, after that, it was pretty great. But if you notice, I was better than you, Rem.
What do you mean?
I was better than you.
I wasn't DPSing.
It isn't about DPSing, but I was better than you.
How so?
I was focused. I knew what we were doing, where we were going after the first run.
Same here. The first run, it was a shit show for me, but
That's
sure, yeah,
weird.
you're better.
So you're not going to admit it, Rem? You're just not going to admit it?
I'm confused on
You're not gonna
what
admit it.
aspect, but yeah, you're better. Sure.
This is why you don't game with boys, is they'll never admit it. It is quite the tide turning, though, because it is a different experience being capable versus always being the retard licking the doorknob.
Is it the turn of the tides of vengeance?
Ooh, that was a good one. We're going to have to put that on a soundbite repeat situation. We have to do that.
But minus my voice.
Yeah. No, with your voice.
Yeah.
To that end, the AWC spring season is beginning. There is the schedule's already up, which it's already started actually, because I think they started
Isn't it
yesterday,
this?
or
I
maybe
thought it
they
was
were just
starting
doing the
next
pre
week.
stuff. I think they do the pre stuff and then they broadcast Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Blizzard, as always, did a nice write up highlighting the PvP, highlighting
Of course.
the broadcast, highlighting everybody that's involved. I'm a little sad because this is the first time we haven't had
Oh, healing stat?
yeah, we haven't had healing stat, which is, I still call him Talbium. I suppose I should get rid of that habit. He's got other things. He's streaming. He's doing. Maybe he's gonna compete. I don't know.
I
But
mean, I have old aliases that some of my friends still call me. So
like,
one of my tunes forever was Tanak.
hold on, I gotta turn that up. I'm sorry. Did you say Tanak?
Yeah.
What is that?
So you ever seen Tenacious D?
Well, of course.
How they have the marks on their butt, Tanak and this D. I'm not I'm not proud of it. That and Crispy and Tanak used to be some of my names.
Crispy, like
Yeah.
crispy bacon.
Yeah.
Crispy.
Crispy.
Now we gotta call him Crispy.
Please no.
You know, I think they are. I feel like I don't know if Blizzard does that on purpose because they want to see which of the two brothers will reign supreme. Like I don't know. But we've got let's see. So February 8th through March 24th is essentially going to be the season for spring as far as the broadcasting. And there's going to be a 1 week break at the end of March. 10 a.m. PT time is when it will start on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Well, I mean, one doesn't have to compete up against the other. Doesn't have to.
No.
But this is the way they're covering this one. It's like the whole little page showing each caster and what's going on.
Right.
They've never done that before.
Isn't
I
that
don't
nice
believe.
of them?
It's almost like they care.
Like, yeah, they've highlighted the casters, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I love all of them. When I say all of them, not all of them, but most of 4 out of 5 ain't bad, guys. Fucking Christ, 4 out of 5
Who's the
ain't bad.
fifth?
Well, I guess there's 4. Just kidding, that was awkward. 3. I forgot because Adrian's not doing it anymore. Anyway, but I love each one individually for what they bring to the table from a casting standpoint, and I could never do what they do. Not in a million years. I would not be able to form any kind of intelligible conversation or thought while trying to watch it. I just don't think I could do it. There would be punks and bitches being screamed all around.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be a caster for any game either because you have to be 1, G-rated, 2, in that, like, now it's not even a stressful situation. It's more of like everything's going on all at once. I wouldn't be able to form a thought. Like, it would just be all bad.
I do agree with you, Sulfate. Why aren't they using their time better? Maybe because they knew that Method and Limit and Exorcist and Future and all the other guilds were going to be taking up the time with the World First race. I don't know. But I agree with you. I don't think they use good... This whole time has been downtime for Overwatch in seasonal perspective. So I agree that they could... I don't know what their grand design is there, honestly. But I was kind of frustrated to see that they didn't give an increase to the winnings.
Yeah, where'd all the money from removing it from the other stuff go?
Yeah, you just freed up a whole bunch of budget, and you just laid off 100 people in whatever office they laid off, not in this country. Like, there's all that budget. Why? I don't know. But the community can get involved, and there's toys and all of that, which that's, of course, been hate all over the internet, because God forbid we have that. Can't have anything fun on the internet.
Fun is not allowed.
Yeah, fun's not. I'll buy 20 million toys in-game to support these guys, 100%.
That's a lot of money, Belle.
Well, okay, so maybe I was being like, what's the word? I don't know.
Exaggerated?
I don't really know if Overwatch and WoW are competing specifically, because I really tried to block out as much. Overwatch is one of my muted words on Twitter. That's
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's one of your trigger words?
It's one of my muted words. Not for any other reason. It's not a hate thing. I just don't, it isn't my life. It's not a life of mine. It's not a life of mine. If you are on my Twitter, you followed me and I followed you, which I pretty much follow everybody back unless you're a bot or an asshole. Overwatch people don't follow me. It's not a part of my life. It isn't, and it isn't because I don't like them. It's because WoW is my, I like that I can go to Twitter and see all the World of Warcraft stuff. Mm-hmm. And the other games too. It isn't, it doesn't need to just be about that, but I have Hearthstone stuff in there and Heroes of the Storm stuff because I have friends that do Heroes of the Storm things, but Overwatch specifically isn't a part of my life. It is because my husband plays it, but outside of that, it isn't a part of my life. Well, is the stuff happening simultaneously? Does Overwatch stuff overlap with the AWC on Twitch? Well, I'm glad.
But you can have two tabs open at the same time. If they're not overlapping, they can watch a repeat, or
I can have two tabs opening at the same time, but I can't pay attention to two things at once. Physically. I mean, I can, but I'll miss something. Will get missed, and then it's not fun for me. But so it runs during the week and on weekends, so it's every day of the week. it's just all the time. Then is that what you mean, Andrew?
I guess so.
It's just every day. It's forever. I love you. I really think it's good though. I liked the video that they did. Angie's famous because she's in the video.
Oh, I mean, her hand is.
Hey, the hand is the best part of the human body in terms of, like, fame. Just saying.
Stand like this the whole time, my hand.
Well, I mean, I don't really know what Blizzard does. Maybe they all take maybe they have a large summit and all the esports stuff is down and out. I don't actually know. I'm trying to be a better human where Blizzard's concerned in general. But I'm not feeling the vibe. This world first stuff and their lack of interest upset me greatly. So they should be better about supporting stuff in general. Like, I don't want them to throw money. I just want them to be better humans.
Yeah, it's not even, again, what you were saying earlier, it's not even about the money. It's just, even just a tweet about it every once in a while would have been nice. Just
acknowledgement.
So that you care.
Acknowledge all the guilds that made it, really far. Acknowledge the fact that, guys, other I don't know how to say it in a PC manner. I don't know how to be PC on the internet, but like, it wasn't just, EU and the Mercas. It was Asia even. Here come the Asians with their...
Taiwan and Asia.
Like they somebody kept... I can't repeat it on Twitter because I'll get in trouble, but somebody kept commenting in the Twitch chat and on the Twitter posts. You guys have to hurry and kill Jaina before the Chineses do. And
oh my God.
They were saying it with like an S on the end, and I don't know why that was funny. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hell. But
It's
I
funny.
literally was hysterically laughing every time that person would say that because it
Jesus
was funny.
Christ.
Just like it was. I didn't take it as a racist thing. I thought it was kind of funny because they were like, yeah, you should be concerned because Asians come in and fuck shit up. Like, we know that. If it's up against me and possibly, not me.
Well, I mean, it says something too when Method killed it 2 days ago now, and the only other guild in the world that has killed it is Limit.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only.
That's just.
I don't know if
crazy.
the other guilds gave up.
I mean, I bet they at least like rolled back a little bit and.
I hope they wouldn't give up because still being
Well, no, not like give up, but I mean.
still being third and fourth and fifth, like top 10 guilds to kill is still a big deal. It still
Yeah.
kind of introduces you to the player base and says, "Hi, I'm here. Pay attention to me. Love me. Follow me on Twitter."
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. So, with the AWC coming, guys, full disclosure, again, you're going to see a lot of tweets from me. They're not just going to be Method tweets.
Are they going to be the move?
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
Snuts is competing. And Snuts is competing. Maldiva's back in the game. Like, these guys, these are my favorites. They are Method, but they're not, I don't believe that they're playing as Method. I don't think they're on Method teams because we just have one. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But this is exciting. PvP is an exciting time because it gets the blood pumping. It gets shit flowing. And we get to see, like, this.
yeah, being constipated isn't good for anybody.
No, we really need to be better about being thoughtful about our...
Well, I mean, if you're Team Dilly, then you have to feed him, okay?
Did you see his tweet?
Yes.
Everybody says I'm too skinny and I need to eat, but nobody wants to give me a $4.99 sub so I can eat. That was probably the most creative sellout tweet I ever saw in my life, and I might have actually tweeted to him. So yeah, if you are not interested in seeing PvP tweets in mass quantities after I've had my coffee, then maybe you should. I wouldn't unfollow me, like, you don't need to be a dick, but maybe just mute me for...
Oh, that's a name I haven't seen in a minute. Vanguards.
Yeah, all of the oldies are back, and I'm excited to see guys that pave the way, honestly, to teach the newer generation of these PvPers how it's done in style, because young is always good, and it's always good that we get new blood flow and new blood pump in here, but I like to see these vets stepping back into the scene and just showing these youngins how it's done. This class and style and flair and panache and all that good stuff. And I love it because these
And then sometimes you need to know when to hang your cape.
Who would you be referring to?
Well, a good one would be I honestly didn't even need to, but Van Rookie, how he stepped into casting.
I've been trying to convince him to go back into...
I'm still pretty sure that's what Healing Stat aka Talby might be doing. Is he going to try and compete maybe?
I hope so.
Or maybe a third party deal.
I hope
But
so.
no, I think maybe Snuts could do what Maldiva did, just manage a team.
Snuts is wicked talented. And
Yeah, but might be a little rusty.
he might be, but isn't that what makes them great? Maybe sometimes you have to be rusty to be better.
Or you end up like Romo.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think it's
Like
good.
again, he's really good as a caster. I know you don't care about football, but
I think seeing these older vets...
I know it's really nice having veterans mixing with the new ones, like Trill, for instance, and Mez is a perfect example of that.
You're right about that. But you ever wonder why we're seeing the vets coming out? Everybody's coming back. Anybody wonder why? Has anybody asked that? Angie probably would know the answer to that question. But has anybody questioned, like, wow, I'm starting to see all these guys that I haven't seen doing tournaments before. Even like Venruki, Supatis, and all of them did that. What ended up being a shit show, I think, in the last couple days has erupted into some drama, which I don't want to talk about because I don't care. But anybody suppose why these vets are coming back? Angie, I know you know the answer to this question. Don't let me down. I'm going to wait. Is that sarcasm? Angie, I don't know if you're being sarcastic.
Oh, she's being sarcastic.
But I don't know, though. Sarcasm doesn't translate very well through text.
It does not, but...
What money, though? Is there money? Did Blizzard give more money for tournaments? Or maybe they're out of money,
not just the tournaments, the viewers, if they're going to stream, endorsements, sponsors.
Maybe they're not getting girls anymore.
Maldiva Kit takes them all shit.
Well, and I suppose you might have a good point, because I think I understand where you're coming from. I think back then, the sponsorships and the precedent that we've set over the last few years isn't what it was a few years ago, where there were sponsors and things like that. But I think it's more common now than it was, say, 5 years ago, right? For large companies to come out of the woodwork and Snuts to sell out to fucking Miller Lite.
Well, I mean, and Sea-Doo, he had that cooler in the back.
I'm not even hating it. Like, Miller Lite was hey, would you sell out?
I respect it. I respect that hustle.
I would sell out. Send me some beer. I'll sell out for you. I'll fucking pitch your shit.
I'll drink your shitty beer.
I actually like Miller. I do like Miller Lite, so it wouldn't be a lie.
I mean,
it's not Miller. It's Michelob. Never mind. Just kidding. I lied. Michelob Ultra.
You're getting your sponsorships wrong.
Michelob Ultra. I agree. And that was actually what I was waiting for her to say. It is what they have done with making this a something to look forward to, not just from the players, but from the community. They have brought a lot of passion. We still have far to go. There's some things that they can tweak and make better, but yes, the passion. I've never met David personally. I follow him on Twitter. He doesn't follow me, but that's okay. Nobody needs to follow me. But I do see that passion. I always make sure I retweet what he tweets just because I can see that he gives a shit about it. And people know that. These guys know that. They know who gives a shit. They know who cares. And they know who is putting in to make things better. And in terms of where we were 5 years ago, we are in a very different state of being 5 years ago. And I think it's the best it's ever been when it comes to PvP as a... I don't want to say, like... I don't mean the best as in terms of an esport, but... I mean, people have paved the way and fought the good fight to make this something special.
Well, I think part of it too is the fact that esports is becoming a social norm. It's no longer a social stigma behind it.
Can you make David follow me on Twitter?
Speaking of selling out.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I do agree. I do think it is the passion there. So with that passion, let's get good. And don't forget there's an esports app. So it gives you all the cha-chas and reminders and all of that stuff. Luckily, most of the time, my reminders come from Twitter when stuff is on, which is really, really great that I have that reminder. So
well, and once again, since we're talking about PvP, I'm still looking for someone to help me get that new saber.
Angie says, I don't know if I have that kind of power. Basically, she was like, you're too basic, bitch.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I want to tell you, before we talk about some 8.1.5 stuff and then some lore stuff, I forgot about Angie's birthday. When I say I forgot about Angie's birthday, I didn't forget.
You just missed it.
The connection between the 27th is her birthday and today is the 27th. Completely fucking missed. It's like the train left the station.
I'm lucky I remember my own birthday, so...
Why are we talking about that in this chat, hun? I don't want to talk about that drama. That's toxic, and I don't care. I don't care. Let that shit play itself out. But, So I, again, just so I'm clear, I didn't forget it was her birthday, but I didn't connect the two together. So she tweeted about getting a fryer, an air fryer, which I'm jealous because I want one. She tweeted about getting for her birthday, and she was gonna fry everything. And I'm like, this is why she's my spirit animal, because I literally want an air fryer to fry everything. And my husband will even say it because I've said it. I will literally fry everything. And
Isn't that why you get one in the first place?
I feel really bad because I didn't acknowledge her birthday. And if I did, I don't remember. Like, I don't even remember if I said happy birthday to her. I made up for it, though. Her birthday present's coming tomorrow. Because I'm a shit friend. Like, it literally a shit friend. That's terrible to not have your birthday acknowledged. It's absolutely terrible. That's awful. Awful business. So, guys in chat, wish Angie a happy late birthday for me. Give her some love.
Happy belated birthday. Yay.
Give her some love. She deserves it. She literally is the glue that holds this show that's on life support. She literally keeps me from just falling into a massive pile of mush. And she deserves it. So, yeah, she does. She's getting... Tomorrow, she'll be really... Well, the good news is I'm a really great gift giver. And my husband will tell you, I have this knack for... When you don't know somebody on, like, I was going to say a physical level, but that would be weird, and Corey might be excited. So let's... We'll pretend that didn't... Don't tell Corey I said that. I have this knack of just being able to give good... I give good gifts. I've always been a really good gift giver. And I think it's because I care about people. But I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. If she loves it, it will be great. If she doesn't love it, she's not going to tell me she doesn't love it. So I'll just have to, like...
So either way, you're going to think it's a good gift. So it's okay.
Maybe she'll say she doesn't love it because her and I are on that level where, like, she could call me a jackass and I won't get offended. But I don't really know that she is capable of saying she doesn't like something. Like, to people she cares about. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She seems really nice. See, now she's got all the love in chat. All the love. Okay. I wanted to show... I show mounts sometimes, and I was actually really surprised that I liked this mount. The time walking mounts for Warlords of Draenor, because you know that's coming. I was really surprised that I liked these mounts enough to even bother past a scroll when it was in my newsfeed, I think like 3 days ago. But I wanted to show you guys. Where is it? So, I don't like Warlords of Draenor visually. Like, a lot of that stuff visually just wasn't my jam.
You don't like horns and thorns and...
No, I mean, I suppose if I was Horde, because it was, obviously, you know, visually it was geared towards not a whole lot of Alliance stuff, which is okay. We can have a whole expansion that's not Alliance visuals, but I feel like liked these a lot.
Like these mounts are like a fire hazard.
I love it, though. Especially the top one.
The Alec?
Yeah, I like the tusks. I was really, really impressed. Obviously, these are, you know, reskins, right? They've added to them, but I think in this instance, I don't particularly mind. I think they're really cool, and I actually might do time walking for those. Do you
not like the other time walking ones?
It's not that I don't like them. It's that nothing has really caught my fancy, like, at glance. Whenever they've data mined or posted, you know, the time walking mounts, this hasn't really caught my attention. If it was a hippogriff, maybe, but I definitely want those mounts.
I wouldn't mind the wolf one, but I'm gonna feel like I'd burn my chest. So
I feel like I'm into that, though. Like, not in a weird way. Right now,
Candle
my
wax.
husband's going to the store to get candles and big lighters. No, not in a weird way. Just in a like. I can kind of dig that vibe. Now, to that end, hunters are going to be able to ride Haiti, and there's going to be a quest where you're like reclaiming Haiti. I don't hunters, so I don't know.
Why would we go to the Caribbean?
I don't. Not. Oh my god. He's an embarrassment to me, guys. I don't have anything to say there. But now it's kind of funny that they're now giving, they're thinking about being able to use the pets for something besides just doing pet things. Because it did make sense that you should have always been able to maybe ride some of your pets as a hunter.
I don't know about that. Maybe if you're a Beastmaster or certain...
I was right, reclaiming Haiti. See, guys, I do read. I went to the Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good.
Is it Haiti, Hati, or Hatai?
I thought it was Haiti. I'm probably saying it wrong now.
Or...
I am probably saying it wrong. But I think maybe some of the larger pets, it makes sense that you'd be able to ride. Like the Quillin. Is it the Quillin?
From Miss?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Quillin, the Mogu.
Yeah, like that would be cool to ride. What's the other one? The white tiger. Everybody tries to get it.
Oh, I don't remember the name, but it's in Charlotte's Basin. That's one of them.
Loki or something? Loke? I don't know. You guys could tell I don't. Hunter. But I do think that it's nice that they're giving some interaction there. I think it would make sense if let's pretend we're hunters in real life. And you have all these pets that at your command that go and do these things with you. It would stand to reason that you would ride them if they were big enough to be ridden, Giggity.
I wouldn't ride a wolf in IRL. That's...
If it was your pet and you guys were friends, you wouldn't ride it?
No.
I would.
If I was taming like an elephant or a horse or something, but maybe having a wolf on a sled.
I thought you were going to say on a stick.
On a steak.
No, it wasn't called the Spirit Jaguar. Not the one I'm talking about anyway. Loque. I remember talking about it. But
it's probably just Loke.
I like to see that interaction. I think it's really good that they're doing that. I appreciate that. And they seem to be super focused on hunters in general, which I think that's pretty cool.
What?
What? Sometimes we just have to say things awkwardly just to see who's paying attention. But yeah, you get to ride him, and Jolt Jerky. Jolt Jerky.
Jolt your jerky? That's super...
Toys,
provocative.
Volpe Fez, Jolt Jerky, Rubber Ball, Iron Spine Protocol. This is to enhance his size.
That's super provocative, Belle.
Now all the boys in World of Warcraft are going to be getting the Iron Spine Protocol so that they can enhance the size and constitution.
It's a world epidemic.
Now we're getting into Viagra territory. Well, Viagra is just forever boner. It's not a growth-enhancing situation.
It doesn't exist. I checked.
Did you do field studies? Are you saying it's a lie?
It's a lie.
And then, of course, they had asked a question on Twitter. I'm pretty sure I answered. The response was something probably not intelligent, but if you could dress him up with one thing, what could it be? Wait, I would put
Hati?
A top hat, maybe.
That's elegant.
A top hat and
that would be elegant, Belle.
No, that would be dapper.
Isn't that the same?
No. You can be. I think you can be dapper and elegant, or one or the other. But I don't think you could be dapperly elegant. Or elegantly dapper.
But you can be that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Did
maybe
he
not.
just say his bush is too big? This is just a train wreck waiting
Yeah, you
to
need
happen.
a shape before you come over.
A train wreck. But I would love... That's what my NPC could be in game. Dapper
What?
Bell, the taco peddler. With a taco cart that's like... You know, maybe my taco cart is mobile.
I guess you're gonna have to rename Taco Bell.
I
to
go around
Dapper
like
Bell.
the gnome, or not the gnome, the goblin that has the stuff you buy. They walk around Stormwind. That goblin. Dapper Bell. Yeah, but you could be elegantly dapper, maybe.
Yeah.
Why not both?
I mean, yeah, you could be dapper without being elegant because dapper doesn't pertain to like social class.
Does elegant pertain to social class?
Typically, if you're going to be like dressed elegantly, you're on the higher spectrum, I guess.
Oh god, I'm terrified to even look at that clip. Blow, I don't know what that clip is, but it's scaring me.
Nope.
Kitty Macabre. Kitty Macabre. Macabre? Macabre.
Macabre.
Meh.
That's a good song, by the way, by Ghost.
I want... I'm gonna
Oh
go,
yeah, no, that's a bad clip. Blow. Shame on you.
I'm gonna go change my name to Dapper
There's
Bell.
a fly on your
It's like,
camera.
hello?
It's literally like on the.
Does anybody see that, or am I crazy?
There's
Where
a
did
fly.
it come from?
Well, you see,
I haven't seen a fly in like a year, and now it's just trapped in my office.
it's coming through your air conditioner.
Fucking Christ. Did anybody see? I think you're the only one that saw the fly. Everybody else just thought I was randomly swatting at them. That's embarrassing. Oh, God.
It's not a parachute. It's a knapsack.
It's pocket sand. Guys, heirlooms. They've been data
Are they
mined.
tweaking something?
They've been data mined. Go spend your money.
Oh, up to 120 now. Jesus.
So I think, yeah, and the gold price, I'm pretty sure. Does anybody see it?
It's all that PCP. I told you to stay off of it.
No one else sees it? Please tell me somebody saw it. So it like went up here and I could hear it on the fan, and then it just like kamikazed. I have it. I saved it on a character. So the heirlooms, I'm pretty sure will be like the same price we always pay for them. But if you're wanting to level and you don't want to level without heirlooms, then you could wait and get the heirlooms and do them. Like, I always buy them, even if I don't plan on leveling, because
Why not?
I at
Why
least
not
buy
just
them
get
for
it?
Bell. The upgrades. But you get the upgrades now from, you get them from the holidays. You purchase the upgrade stuff from the holiday vendors if you have the holiday currency. You get them from Time Walking. You can buy them with Time Walking currency. So it's more than just like, it just doesn't have to be about gold. And if you're running low on gold, the mailbox is still a good place to dance to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I seen you there yesterday, Rem. I know you didn't want me to tell anybody, but I saw you.
It's physically impossible, but okay.
Oh, I saw you. I saw you dancing by the mailbox. I'm not going to judge you, though. I'm here. And isn't it funny that nobody else has made that meth reference? I find it hard to believe that nobody else has made that meth reference in like 5 years. Nobody's ever said that. And it's even more funny how they've changed the shape of that name for me. Where like I don't even really use method in a normal context anymore because I've replaced it with a different word. I don't even know.
What other word could you use for method?
I don't know.
Attack plan? Battle plan?
7?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured.
What's in the
Heirlooms,
box?
heirlooms, heirlooms. Do we have any thoughts on when we think 8.1.5 is going to drop? Since they seem to be ramping up quickly in their builds. I think they've done 3 builds just this week.
Um,
I'm thinking,
before May,
well, of course,
actually-
before May.
but actually
Jan,
maybe in end of March, early April.
I think February.
We're in February.
I know.
What, the 25th? I mean, the
Maybe.
26th?
Maybe the first week of March. Procedure!
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thesaurus saves us again. I know, I really want to be a Kultiran. And I prepped the druid, though I haven't finished leveling the druid, but I did start, which is half the battle. My back itches, guys, I apologize. Between the fly and my back itching, I'm just a hot mess today. March 19th is his birthday. It's a good thing he told me because I probably would have forgotten his too.
When's my birthday?
I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, it's that Monday after.
It is the Monday after. It's exactly a week after, isn't it? Or 5 days after? I don't know. I just know it's.
It's
You know,
8.
It's shitty.
6 days.
It's shitty because I don't Facebook anymore. So I've really, really let some of my friends down with the happy birthdays because Facebook was a reminder. Like my older sister.
Yeah, no, when it comes to family, I need Facebook to tell me.
My older sister, we're a year and a day difference. And I can never remember if hers is the 21st
or before
or
or
if it's the 22nd or if it's the 24th. I just know that it's different. So I kind of just like...
Just take a guess. Like, happy...
I just
early
always do it on the
birthday.
22nd because if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. I'll just say, well, I didn't want to forget. It's pretty embarrassing, to be perfectly honest. Method and procedure. That would actually be the best dad joke ever if those were... Seriously? I almost got it, though. Can you come eradicate my office of this fly? Hun?
I'm not in that business anymore. Oh.
No, you would take forever to get here because you're down the freeway. It's sitting right here just staring at me. I hate flies.
So what they
Ooh.
need to do is just change the organization's name to procedure. That way we can use method again in sentence structures.
You know, does anybody know why their name is Method? Off topic.
Because they have a strong work method.
No, method, I don't remember if it's Greek or Latin. It's derived from another word meaning meta. FYI.
Like metaphysics or...
Like meta. The word meta. There's actually a big history there, which there's things I didn't know about, but I'm working on a history project with them. So I've learned more than I thought I would learn.
So if I made a guild name Meta, it'd pretty much be the same thing?
I mean, kind of.
Okay.
Kind of.
God.
Method wasn't their original guild name, though. Thank God they changed their name, but it wasn't.
It was Hello Kitty Adventure Island.
No, it was not Hello Kitty Adventure Island either. But Method was not.
What is it? What was it?
Well, I probably shouldn't be given that information because I'm working on a current project for specifically that reason. But I'm sure it's not a secret. I'm sure the
Wow,
history.
that's a cock tease.
I'm sure the history exists somewhere, but they were. Method is not who they were originally. They changed their name when they merged to when Scripe was GM of another guild, and they merged the raid teams because
The
back
guild
then,
formerly known as Method.
yeah, the guild formerly known as Method, but when Scripe merged, when they brought his raid team in with Methods because they couldn't get a full 40 man. They had 2 half teams because it was really hard to get raiders back then.
Well, especially with 40 people that were semi-competent.
That was exactly the issue. Semi-competent raiders. Fucking Christ. I love that my husband sees me struggle. He's physically witnessing me struggle. And he's just in there making fucking procedure jokes. That's what I got. I get procedure jokes. That's it. This is it, guys. While I hope my husband will come in here and get this fly out of the way, and I'll mute. Since we are going into the second wing of LFR, and then not next week, but not, so 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Technically it's 3.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about we have the third set of bosses that we need to talk about, which it's perfect because we focused on the third set of bosses. Well, the last 2 anyway, but mech wasn't nice either. So let's talk about what are we doing in this raid with these last 3 bosses? And who are they? Where do they come from? When he gets close to the mic, he's getting serious, guys. He's getting serious. Hey, Darknado 7, can you come in here and take care of this fly? Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna mute because he's getting serious. He moved the mic all the way up here. You guys might be getting some kind of like a bonus. I don't know.
We're doing the ASMR streams again. How's it going, everybody? We're gonna talk about the last bosses of BFA and Desarlor.
Aren't you supposed to be loud though?
Not when you're doing ASMR.
Oh, you're not.
ASMR is supposed to be really personal and sensual and.
I feel like that's not any of those things. But okay,
really.
I'm gonna let you finish.
So the third set of bosses, you're gonna talk to a dude, and if you're Horde, you're gonna be playing it out as the Horde. You're in the current story. If you're the Alliance, you are technically playing as the Horde, acting out the story that's being told to you. So you're in the present, talking about the past, acting out the past, talking about the future. While you're in the present. Makes a lot of sense. What the hell is that? That's amazing. That's super awkward. So the first boss would be Gelbin Mechatork. If you don't not know who Gelbin Mechatork is, you're either A, Horde, or B, racist against gnomes. He is the leader of the gnome race. And he is one of the smartest minds in Azeroth in terms of tech-wise. You have different levels of smartness and smarticles. But what I found interesting is before BFA and... Well, that's a little extra. Before BFA and Desarlor, he was kind of like one of those innocent bystanders in all the cinematics in the story. Like, he was just sort of there. And he's gotten a very prominent and important role in the middle of this raid, and it's actually really it's cool. I don't play any gnomes personally, but I think it's great that gnomes are getting the recognition that they deserve. Instead of being punted, I'll fight for you guys. Okay. So a little background about Mechatork is he is one of the greatest inventors and innovators in Azeroth and in its entirety. He has turned the tides of battle for the Alliance based on his inventions and his deals. So one thing about Mechatork is they can't inherit Azeroth. It's too big for them. There's too much more space for us. But and so when Gnomeregan was lost and they moved into Ironforge, and he still has the weight on his shoulders from that. Like, we have the whole almost like defumigating Gnomeregan and what was it, a couple of expansions ago now. And so I'm hoping also with the new gnome city coming out, I'm hoping that they go back on Gnomeregan and kind of make Gnomeregan what it should be, make Gnomeregan great again. But so yeah, Stormwall Blockade. It is a group of Tide Sages. Their names are Sister Catherine and Brother Joseph. They would give their lives for their comrades and their world, their Kulteris homeland. And so my big thing about these guys is I don't trust Tide Sages at all. They've proven that they're adept and they're powerful, but I don't trust them one damn bit. So who else is in the oceans, Belle?
What, like which oceans?
All the oceans.
Like the Great Sea Ocean? Is
Yeah.
the Great Sea an ocean or a sea?
What does it say?
It says the Great Sea, but is it
And it's
is
a
it
sea.
is it an ocean that's called the Great Sea?
Well, I don't. Maybe they have different qualifications for seas and oceans in Azeroth. I'm not an oceanographer.
Nobody's
Belle.
ever asked that question?
I'm not an oceanographer. Okay.
I'm not an oceanographer either, or an oceanologist. I'm not a
Marine
seaologist
biologist?
either.
Are you a marine biologist?
No, I'm not a marine
It's like the same
biologist.
thing. But I don't trust him one damn bit because N'Zoth is in the oceans. He is the king of the seas.
Yeah, because
And-
he goes to people as fish. and
Yeah.
tries to intimidate them with his fish lips and fish eyes and weird flapping
Jesus Christ.
fish fins.
So what's been happening to the Tide Sages lately is they've been succumbing to the Whispers. So I'm not saying Sister Catherine and Brother Joseph obviously aren't listening to the Whispers. They're always there. They just aren't listening to them. They can control their schizophrenia. So that's good.
That doesn't exist. Nobody can control their crazy.
You can stifle it.
I present you Exhibit A.
Are you pointing at me or you? But they seem trustworthy, and they prove their mettle against the Horde. So, 10 out of 10, I'd fight alongside them. I still don't trust them in the end of the day, though.
I don't trust anybody.
It's smart.
At this point, we don't know how deep this goes, Giggity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We don't know the full weight of who is controlling who.
Yeah, no. He was he majored in marine biology and ended up making games. Isn't that kind of funny? Kind of funny. So Jaina Proudmoore, whether you love her or you hate her or you hated her, now you love her, you have to give her fucking respect. Because one, she is now Lord Admiral of Kulteris. You always have to have that title in there based on what Belle said the other day. But she's also had many other titles. So she's still currently an Archmage, but she's been Archmage Jaina. She's been the ruler of Theramore, that's there no more. She's been the leader of Dalaran. She's led the Kirin Tor. And at one point, she was just a lonely apprentice. Like, she was under, that sounds wrong. She was under the tutelage of Antonidas. And he used to rule old Dalaran. Not rule, but he led the people in Dalaran, and he was leader of the Kirin Tor. Like, before Jaina became into the point that she is now, he was the strongest mage and sorcerer on Azeroth, next to Medivh. Well, actually, yeah, next to Medivh. So Jaina is also a character that's been there since day one of this story. She was in Warcraft 3 Reigns of Chaos. She was in the first campaigns, the first set of story for Warcraft 3 after Warcraft 1 and 2 and Tides of Darkness and all that good stuff. So she's an OG. She has one of the most interesting story arcs. She has some of the most bipolar story arcs you could possibly fucking imagine. And yeah, no, she's been there since day one. She at the beginning she was just an apprentice, and she up to this point, like, she took her people across the ocean to the Forgotten Land of Kalimdor, where she formed Theramore, which again is there no more. So
It is by the click
All
of a
bad.
button. I just want to point that out. You could click a button and massively undo all of the things and see Theramore restored to its former glory.
yeah, but why do that?
Well, nostalgia.
But for those who don't know, if you haven't been paying attention to the story at all, she is the daughter of Balin. He is the former Lord Admiral. And Catherine. Catherine, we didn't know about before this point. We knew that she had a mother, obviously, but her name wasn't in the records. And she's also the sister of Tandred and Derek. And if you're not aware, Derek is dead. And spoiler alert afterwards. But
Did you just spoiler and then not spoiler?
no, that's not really a spoiler.
Oh, it isn't?
It's been out for months. That part of it. But Sylvanas doesn't let people stay dead. Maybe there's some
Can you
foreshadowing, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And Tandred is having a big role. He actually had his model updated for 815, so that's cool. And he's pretty much the brains and the brawn behind the Kulturian fleet. So that's good. But it's interesting what's going to be going on with Jaina, because you can only... How far can you rise to the top before something happens and you fall over? Like, at this point, she's at the height of her power, just power-wise, status-wise. She is a perfect target to either A, have Blizzard knock a peg off, or just to be brought back to where she was before.
I don't think so.
Do you think she could become the new...
I think
the way that they're...
Can't she not become a guardian? Can't she be the guardian? Isn't Khadgar getting too old for this shit?
Khadgar is not a guardian. The guardian is no longer. Medivh took that with him.
Well, why does Khadgar have the staff and he does all the guardian things?
But he's not a guardian. He has the power of a guardian, but in terms of the official capacity of the Terrasfall Council, there are no more guardians.
That's sad. I think they're going to continue to... I think Jaina's got her... I think her come-up story is going to continue for some time. Maybe even 2 or 3 expansions.
Yeah, I would like her to be... come back to being sane again. And having an important role in the Alliance. And maybe even taking over the Alliance.
What do you mean taking over? Is that not the...
Not like taking over, but... assuming leadership of the Alliance.
Maybe she's gonna marry Anduin.
Do you know how big of an age gap there is? That would be like marrying your grandma.
But she's
maybe
hot.
Your hot grandma.
Like, he's not gonna be mad about that. She's hot. He's an adult.
There's stuff you can't change though.
Like what?
Stuff doesn't always snap back.
It looks pretty snap back to me, if I'm being honest. Like, am I right, guys? Like, it looks pretty well in place.
But in terms of story and all that, it's like I said, she's at the height of her power and her status. Like it's like a full 180. Honestly, she went from being in a hermit / outcast, but like when you get
she just completely went off grid.
Yeah.
She threw a fit at the Council 6 and was like, fuck,
I mean, it's totally justified.
So maybe they're setting her up. Maybe they're setting her up to kill her.
That's what I'm scared about. Cause
you know how like they always like rise and they make that story more emotional right before they do the bad thing, and they make you like they keep rising it, so it makes it that much more gut wrenching. Maybe. What would be the design there? What story-wise would benefit from them killing her?
They could do something where the Horde does something and maybe Jaina dies because of it, and so that causes another rift, like a big rift that maybe either A forces... Yeah, no, Madon isn't the Guardian. They retconned him out completely. It's... that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But, you know, because it would be an emotional story, for sure. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like story for the game, I don't think it gives anything that a different story arc would give. I honestly think Sylvanas should be removed. Her story is becoming kind of boring because she's just this straight up bitch now.
What if what if, I don't think they're going to kill, I don't think the end of this expansion is going to result in a death per se, because I think as a group of people, let's pretend that we are in this game in real life and we've been going through these motions the last few years with the story. I don't think we could survive any more large, important deaths. I don't know, like, we saw a lot in Legion. Like, we saw a lot. I don't know that we would survive, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think that they are looking to change the story, not arc, but landscape. I think they're trying to paint a different picture, especially knowing that they write expansions ahead of time so that they can tell the story throughout. And I don't think Sylvanas is going to survive this as War Chief or as a beloved character. I think if there is a possession happening or a taking over by Old Gods and Void, they might own her forever.
Very possible.
And then she's like the ultimate Gul'dan that we have to fight for 7 fucking expansions.
I mean, what that you just said reminded me about the Old Gods. We still don't know what's going on with the whispers from Elganoth. Like, most of those prophecies still haven't come to play.
We don't know who he's talking about. How many people he said like 8, right?
What?
But there was something. Oh, that might be a spoiler. Never mind. Just ignore me. My bad. Just kidding.
8. Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. The 8, but
nothing.
No, there's at least 2 or 3 people that prophecy pertains to. Could it be Anduin? Could be
He mentioned several.
Right. Where was
I did a spoiler on accident, guys. I apologize. I read spoiler text from 8.1.5. So.
Good job.
I know. I'm sorry. Hopefully you guys have already read it, and then it isn't so much a spoiler.
Surprise.
But yeah, I did. Sorry.
And it could go any amount of ways. There's ways that we want it to go, but like, for instance,
which way do we want it to go, though?
In the way that Sylvanas is removed and everything else is fine. Like I said, I'm just annoyed with her character now. She's just a straight bitch. What the hell? Alexa, stop.
When Alexa takes it personal.
What was I saying? Oh. No, I just wanted to go into a certain, not a certain way, but in Mists of Pandaria, Garrosh went not like in a 180, but they always have like where they want it to go based on what they're writing ahead of time. But Garrosh, they actually were forthcoming about it. They said the Garrosh went a completely different way that they wanted it to. And so I'm thinking that's what's going on right now. I think they're not moving a whole lot, but there's just going to be stuff that it's not going to go the way they originally planned it to go.
I'm excited. I always like not having a clear vision. I like not having a clear vision of what we're going to see when all the dust settles, or the direction that it's taking. I like that there's so many possibilities that I could just throw a ton of shit to the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, no, at this point, like, there's so many different possibilities that could happen based on what's going on in the past that I don't know where it'll go like 100%. It's one of the first times ever, because this is also new stomping grounds for story and all that in general.
Why are people baiting me on the internet, guys? Why do people want to get into internet arguments with me over the fucking state of World of Warcraft, guys? I don't care about your opinion, and tweeting to me doesn't matter because I give zero fucks about your opinion on the internet, random citizen. These are people I don't even follow. I have no idea. I don't follow, they don't follow me. We have nothing in common whatsoever except we both play the same game. I don't know why people want to bait me. I don't need you to tell me how you feel about the state of World of Warcraft. Quit fucking subbing and change your fucking profile picture, because your profile picture is a blood elf. Seriously. I don't got time for this shit today, guys. It makes me grumpy because I don't want to be in a state of defending and being annoyed all the time. I'm either defending or I'm frustrated. I don't. It's not fun for my game life, and it makes me largely grumpy. I apologize for my outburst. Just kidding. I don't apologize for shit. But that aside, I'm excited that really excited for 8.1.5, not just for Cool Terrans, although that is
part of it,
most of the excitement, because my druid's ready. But I'm excited for the spoiler text stuff that I read, so that we could actually have a full-blown conversation about it. What happened?
You reading spoiler broadcast text. That's crazy.
I avoided it for like a really long time, and then what happened is I read one sentence on accident while scrolling.
And then he just kept reading.
Yeah, it was really...
That's how usually it goes.
It was a rabbit hole. But for someone like me who doesn't really particularly seek out that information, like I like to just be involved in the story, and I like to just watch
100%. Yeah, that's cool.
But I have thoroughly enjoyed the story, and I have thoroughly enjoyed everything that's being brought to the table here. So,
well, it's been brought in.
It just occurred to me who this shit is on Twitter. It's the WoW Classic Band of Merry Men. It just clicked. Because that's the WoW Classic followers, their big thing is to shit on all over live as a means to continue to fuel why Classic needs to be more popular than live, and there shouldn't be a competition. I don't understand that line of thinking. They didn't make top 8? Who did?
Wow.
Is there a post?
That's crazy.
Well, they didn't do... They had a couple off ones, but I would like to know who did, though, because that means... Is there a... Hold on, I gotta go to Twitter, guys. We have to see this shit live and in living color.
Oh, shit, sorry.
So I kind of already, like, had my can you not by having a meltdown over Twitter, because... Because it was pretty great. So... I'm trying to find... Oh, Chuck tweeted. Oh, that's okay though. Losing is good. It's good. It's good for them. Losing is good. It makes them better. I would like to see who did make top 8 though. I'm, especially with like all the veterans doing stuff. Does anybody know who Snuts is playing for? Because I tried to. Maldiva got top 6. Who is Maldiva running with? Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Let's play a game. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Oh, they only have 3? I don't actually know who's on his team.
Wow, the move lost 2.
I don't know who's playing to know. I'm not up on the new teams. Like there's no...
Who's Storm?
I guess we'll know tomorrow. Angie, can you give me the grapes offline about who's who? And who's
Maldiva beat them.
I need you to tell me. I need to know who the teams are, because the tweets have been not necessarily, like, there hasn't really been announcement tweets. Okay, so, that's pretty much, I think we're going to have to wrap it up. We're way over time. And
yeah.
So, I'm going to save some conversation for next week, because I do want to talk about community things, and I want to talk about things that are fun and important, and things that are not so fun and important.
Yeah.
And
there's been a lot of
I'm also going to say something that I don't know that I sorry, I went through puberty. I also am going to say something that I don't know if anybody's going to be irritated, receptive, whatever. At this point, I don't really care, to be perfectly honest. If any of you that listen or watch or follow me on Twitter or eat tacos with me or are involved in the World of Warcraft community, as far as, obviously, we are not the famous ones, right? There's tons of other famous people. But if any of you follow Elvine, in any form or fashion, I'm going to ask that you cease and desist any following, any mention, anything outside of making other people in the community aware to not follow him. I'm generally not in the business of putting people's shit on the internet. And I got to be really honest, this is a little different from me. I'm not going to go into detail because we do have people that listen, and I don't want to trigger or stir up any issues or feelings. I encourage you to just Google, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about and exactly why I'm asking you to unfollow, especially if you have children. It's unsafe. So with that being said, educate yourself, go Google. Google will tell you everything you need to know about the situation, but I don't want to go any further than that out of respect for listeners who may or may not have past traumas and things like that that we don't need to dig up. So if anybody wants to talk about it offline, we have a Discord. Feel free to DM me in Discord, and we can have a conversation. Doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I don't give two shits. I hope they light them on fire. So, and you could put that on the record because I don't give a fuck. But I'm trying to think. Rem, am I missing anything? Nothing like important, right?
Nothing's going on this past week. No.
Esper metaphors. What? How did I
Snuts
not
is playing
know
with
that?
Chanimal.
What?
Snuts is playing with Chanimal.
I knew that was going to be a thing. Well,
They're never lucky, huh?
is that what they're called?
Yeah. And Rubcub is leading rejects.
Well, Rub Cub was rejects last year, was he not? Interesting.
For a little bit. But Jameli isn't on the team anymore.
He's past his time. It's
I
time
don't
to
think
move along.
he's I don't think he's ended it at all.
It's time to move along. And now I got to get myself caught up on all this who's who because there's a change up happening. I got to get caught up. So yeah, this is fantastic. Anyway, oh, he's playing. That's good though. It's good when he's playing.
Who?
Jamili.
Oh, I thought that his name wasn't on the roster. Interesting.
It's good that he's playing. It gives me somebody to fuss at on Twitter.
Oh, it's just Jaw now, not Jamili.
I'm gonna just be B. I'm gonna shorten Bell to B. Just B. That's classy as fuck, right?
Yeah,
No, not classy.
I'll just be Rem. Because everyone already calls me Rem.
Well, Jamili, maybe he needs a break. Sometimes you need breaks. A lot of these guys need to take a break. They need to take a break and step the fuck back. Make it happen.
He hasn't been on top in a while. Huh. Never mind.
Guys, it is way past our time.
It's bedtime.
We got to get out of here. Rem's got to go to bed. He's old man now. He has to be in bed at a decent hour, otherwise he can't get up in the morning.
Alarm set for 5.
God, I would kill myself. I think I cry because I get woke up at 7:30. Okay, guys. We have had a show. We have had a day. It's been a very emotional show. All the emotions. It hasn't really been emotional, but I think it's been good. You guys think it's good?
Good. Deviated from the emotional part, so that's good.
Yeah, I think we're in a good space. I'm gonna not look at Twitter though, because I think I was emotionally triggered during the show, and I probably am not gonna go look at Twitter and go fight with people on the internet.
That would probably be for the best.
The classic
today.
people are the worst people. They are like fucking Cowboys fans. Literally, they are like a cult of. I can't even, like,
That'd be funny if Angie was a Cowboys fan.
Angie would never be a Cowboys fan. Not on any planet would Angie be a Cowboys fan. But that literally, they're like Raiders fans.
So they're all Hispanics.
It's a weird. Just because you love the one doesn't mean you have to hate the other. You can be both. You can have both. You can do both, guys. This is the age of menage a trois. Let it go. Fuck. Yeah, Yeah, she would never be a Dallas Cowboys fan. Like that would never. I wouldn't like her, and I love her. I would know she's a Cowboys fan. Like I would feel it through the internet. I can always
Cowboys
pick
fans
out the
have, like, a
Cowboys and
radiance?
Raiders fans. Always. Always. Okay, guys. We are going to get the hell on out of here. Thank you for being a part of our... Not cult. We're not a cult here.
Yeah, we don't make you drink the punch juice.
I mean, I do, but that's... Girls gotta
The
have...
cyanide just gives it a sweet flavor to it.
I have a... Hold on, I want to share this. So earlier, my husband, which we're winding down, FYI, at the end of the show, guys, we're winding down, but before I roll the credits, my husband said, "Hun, do you want grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup?" Normally, I'm in, because he makes a really good grilled cheese sandwich. But I said, no, I don't want something heavy, I want something light. So he is being a smartass and is like, what do you mean by something light? It's way too much.
How can you get lighter than grilled cheese and tomato soup?
Yeah, like you know my husband, so you know already. So I'm getting frustrated because I just want him to understand that I want something light. So then he offers me a BLT. We don't have any T and we don't have any L. So he's like, never mind.
Do you want a B?
Yeah, like we don't have that either. So I just said I want something light and fresh. Like I need fresh. I don't want anything heavy. There's times when my body just craves the fresh. So we
Or you get you some leaves from the outside.
Yeah, we did Red Robin salads because Red Robin salads are delicious. So earlier I had a Southwest grilled chicken salad, and then I got a second one because I knew I'd be hungry after the show. But I thought it was funny, so it's an avocado.
Oh my
Is
god.
what it's called. I thought that was funny because your dad jokes. It's called Hot Box. This is how immature I am.
Hot box.
When I opened the bag just now during your segment, I laughed for a fair amount of time at the name.
Hot box means something completely different.
That's why I laughed.
I.
I'm a child, guys. I'm a child. Absolute child. Guys, I'm gonna roll credits. And we're gonna have Rem lull you guys into submission with some I don't know. Do good things, Rem. Maybe give them something exciting.
This is the story of Go the Fuck to Sleep.
I have my book up there. I can read it to them. Guys, could we do this? Do you? Oh no, my
What?
onion strings are not crispy anymore because they were
Oh, they both did. Yeah, there was someone that I knew that did something really gross. When they made a salad in the morning, they soaked it in vinegar so that everything was like wilted at the end of the day.
Why
It's
would
like,
they do that?
The
The whole purpose of a salad is for that crisp, right?
Exactly.
That's just weird. People are
I called
not...
them insane, and I don't need that negativity in my life. So.
Right. Did you like the avocado?
Yeah, that's cute.
I kind of figured that would be your jam because you like them dad jokes.
Why would you put jam in there?
I don't know, but I just flicked a tomato across the desk. Pretty exciting. Except I have to find it because that's not a good look. Now my fingers have weird stuff on them. I suppose I should... Oh, I guess I need to stop the stream. Shit. Bye, guys. Love you.